Let me show you how the EM Smart dual 20-watt fiber and 20-watt diode laser engraver could be the best addition to your workshop. This versatile 20-watt fiber laser and 20-watt diode laser machine can engrave over 300 materials and cut quite a few materials as well. The fiber laser can perform deep engraving in a variety of metals such as brass and aluminum. It can engrave different colors in stainless steel, and it can even engrave stone. While the diode laser can engrave wood, leather, paper, and dark acrylic, just to name a few materials. Hi, I'm Ken of Wrist Innovations, and I have organized this video into chapters listed in the description that will allow you to skip around the video depending on what is important to you. I would like to thank EM Smart for sending me the dual desktop laser engraver for my evaluation. Okay, let's get started. EM Smart is a brand with over 26 years of experience in the laser industry, specializing in advanced desktop laser engraving solutions. First, let's talk about the features of the dual laser engraver. The EM Smart dual laser engraver consists of a 1064 nanometer wavelength 20-watt fiber laser and a 455 wavelength 20-watt diode laser. The dual laser engraver ships with a 300mm diameter lens. However, other lenses are available, including 110mm diameter, which is required for deep engraving in metals. The laser spot size of the fiber laser is 0.06 millimeters in diameter, and the laser spot size of the diode laser is 0.1 millimeters by 0.2 millimeters. The dual laser engraver is fully assembled right out of the box. Everything is integrated into the main body of the laser engraver. The protective cover easily slides up and down for easy access to the work area. And according to EM Smart, if the cover is open during operation, the laser will drop to harmless light. There are galvo mirrors in the laser head that direct the laser through the lens down to the workpiece. The laser can engrave very quickly, and it has a maximum speed of 10,000 millimeters per second. Since the fiber laser is a pulsed laser, you can control the amount of power in percent and the frequency of the pulses. It has an emergency stop button located on the right side of the unit. In the back of the unit, you can connect the rotary attachment, foot switch, camera USB port to the computer, and the power cord. If you need a special part made and you don't have the capability in-house, I have the answer for you. This brings me to the sponsor of today's video, PCBWay. PCBWay is a great resource for PCBs, CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, and various 3D printing, including metal printing. I have personally used their services to 3D print a stainless steel insert for a high wear application. I went on their website, uploaded my design, selected stainless steel and quantity, and I received an instant quote. Then, after their engineering team reviewed and approved the quote, and they received my payment, they manufactured the parts and shipped them right to my door. I had a great experience with their customer service, and the quality of their parts was excellent. And for the month of September, PCBWay is having a special sale on 3D printed TPU projects for up to 80% off, depending on the weight of the project. If you have a TPU project, now is the time to have it made for you by PCBWay. Give them a try by using my affiliate link below. Now, back to the show. The dual laser engraver has a 230mm by 230mm or 9.6 inches by 9.6 inches engraving area, which is one of the largest sizes for dual desktop laser engravers on the market. The maximum processing height is 150 millimeters or 5.9 inches. The dual laser engraver has a motorized Z-axis that is easily moved using the two push buttons on the right side of the unit. To focus the laser on your workpiece, when you move the Z-axis up or down, you will see two red dots that move closer together or farther apart. So, when they converge into one dot, the laser should be focused on your workpiece. The dual laser engraver has an 8MP 4K resolution camera resulting in an incredibly sharp and detailed image that will easily allow you to orient your images to your workpiece. The dual laser engraver has a strong built-in exhaust. However, for my installation, I connected the included exhaust hose to my large exhaust system that vents all the fumes to the outside. I installed an AC Infinity 6-inch diameter inline exhaust fan that generates 400 cubic feet per minute airflow, so this thing can suck the paint off the wall. It has 10 speed settings and it's relatively quiet. A link is in the description below. I made a permanent installation through my wall, but you could also make a panel and install it in a window. The base plate has threaded holes to mount workpiece locating fixtures, and for cutting, you can flip the base plate over for better airflow under the workpiece. Also, if your workpiece is too large, you can remove the bottom of the base plate and engrave on your workpiece directly. Even with the built-in safety enclosure, it is still recommended that you wear laser-approved glasses or goggles. Of the several laser engravers I have previously received, EM Smart is the first laser engraver manufacturer to include certified laser glasses for the wavelengths of lasers that are produced from the product. Other manufacturers have provided laser glasses, however they were not certified. I also use this pair of laser goggles that fully protect my eyes. They are very comfortable and they are certified for this laser's 455 nanometer and 1064 nanometer wavelengths. A link is in the description below. I view the safety enclosure as a secondary protection, so you should always wear your laser goggles. Once you've assembled the laser, which I'll cover in the next section, to turn on the laser, just push the power button on the right side of the unit. The dual laser engraver comes with a free license of Lightburn software, which is my preferred laser software. EasyCAD software is also included. A link for Lightburn is in the description below. The dual laser engraver has an optional 4-in-1 rotary accessory, which allows you to engrave cylindrical workpieces such as tumblers and rings, as well as spheres and other various shapes of workpieces. I will be publishing a follow-up video during October or November that will focus on all the capabilities of the rotary accessory. There is also an optional flexible fixture that can secure unusually shaped workpieces using these spring-loaded pins. Lastly, EM Smart offers an optional foot switch that allows you to operate the laser more quickly, especially when engraving multiple workpieces. Now let's cover unboxing and setup. The dual laser engraver arrived well protected in its packaging. It's pre-assembled right out of the box, and it only takes a few minutes to remove the components from the foam packaging and attach the various cables and mount the exhaust hose. Besides the main laser engraver, the components include the safety glasses, power cord, foot switch, base plate, cables, workpiece fixture, USB drive, exhaust flange and hose, and a small workpiece samples box. First, remove the protective cover from the lens. An important step next is to remove the 4 screws that have held the laser gantry in place during shipping. Then, pull the emergency stop button out. Connect the 2 USB cables to your computer. The USB-C cable is for the built-in camera. The USB-B cable is for interfacing between Lightburn software and the laser engraver. Connect the power cord and then connect to the exhaust hose. Push the power button on to turn on the laser. To connect the laser to Lightburn software, first download Lightburn from the enclosed USB drive. The Quick Start Guide has helpful step-by-step instruction, but I'll provide you with the highlights. It's important to also install the EasyCAD 2 driver, which I found on the USB drive titled MARK CFG7. Click the Devices tab in the lower right corner of Lightburn. Select Find My Laser. Choose JCZ Fiber, then Add Device. Then click Next. Modify the device name and add the correct work area dimension. In this case, the working area is 230 millimeters by 230 millimeters. Click Next, then Finish. Choose the JCZ Fiber device, and once connected, you should see a Ready message on the right side of Lightburn. The next thing you want to do is to update the parameter settings for your particular machine. A photo is included on the USB drive for your machine. Go to the Device Settings tab, then Ports and Laser Settings, and compare the settings to the Quick Start Guide. Then go to the Galvo and Basic Settings tab and enter the values from the photo of your serial number machine. To switch between the fiber laser and the diode laser, for a given SVG file on the Cut/Lasers tab, toggle the button Use Laser To. When it is red or off, fiber laser will be used, and when it is green or on, the diode laser will be used. Now, let's look at the impressive capabilities of the dual laser engraver by engraving some parts. The 20-watt fiber laser of the dual laser engraver excels, especially in engraving a variety of metals. Let's look at anodized aluminum first. The dual laser engraver does an amazing job in engraving anodized aluminum extremely fast and of an excellent quality. It can even cut these thin 0.19 millimeter thick anodized aluminum business cards, although with the 300 millimeter lens, it took over 50 passes. The engraving settings were a speed of 2000 millimeters per second, a power at 90%, frequency at 50 kilohertz, 0.03 intervals, and 1 pass. The cutting settings were a speed of 100 millimeters per second at 80% power at 30 kilohertz and 50 passes. The dual laser engraver also does a great job in engraving raw aluminum. For this piece, I set the speed of 300 millimeters per second, power at 100%, frequency at 30 kilohertz, intervals of 0.03, and 3 passes. The dual laser engraver also handles brass with ease. I engraved this brass piece using a speed of 125 millimeters per second at 100% power at 50 kilohertz and 0.03 intervals and 10 passes. The dual laser engraver does a great job in deep engraving in certain metals such as brass. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do any deep engraving of the brass because the dual laser engraver normally ships with a 300 millimeter lens. So I will order a 110 millimeter lens and include my brass deep engraving in my next video. Now it's time to show you some really cool things you can do with engraving stainless steel. The first application is basic engraving of my name on one of my wrenches. I used the flexible fixture to hold the irregular shaped wrench, and it really worked perfectly. To get this very nice dark engraving, I used the following settings. A speed of 1000 millimeters per second at 50% power, 30 kilohertz, interval of 0.03, and 10 passes. Now, to get wild and crazy, let's find the best settings to engrave a variety of colors on stainless steel. So, let's engrave this bug on a piece of stainless steel. This thing turned out beautiful. Now, let's move on from metals and talk about engraving stone, specifically slate. To get this very nice engraving, I use the following settings. A speed of 800 millimeters per second at 80% power, 20 kilohertz frequency, an interval of 0.05, and 3 passes. I followed that with a single pass cleanup engraving at the following settings. A speed of 1200 millimeters per second at a power of 55% with a frequency of 65 kilohertz and an interval of 0.05. Look how great the engraving on the slate turned out. Now, let's switch gears and use the 20-watt diode laser. I engraved this cork coaster at the following settings. A speed of 750 millimeters per second at 25% power with a 0.1 interval and 1 pass. And it turned out great. Next, I engraved and cut these circles out of 2 millimeter thick alder solid wood. I used the following settings. The engraving settings were 233 millimeters per second at 90% power with 1 pass. For cutting, I set the speed of 10 millimeters per second, 100% power, and 5 passes. I used these engraved circles to personalize this special bottle opener that I 3D printed. Engraving these circles is a great example of using the camera to position the images so I can optimize the alder wood. I made this Father's Day gift using 3 millimeters thick black acrylic. I used the following engraving setting. A speed of 1000 millimeters per second at 60% power with a 0.08 interval and 1 pass. I used the following cutting settings for the acrylic. A speed of 10 millimeters per second at 100% power and 10 passes. The cut edge is a bit rough, so I do need to optimize the cutting settings, but the engraving turned out great. I 3D printed this stand to hold the acrylic plaque, and I think it turned out really nice. At the making of this video, September of 2025, the current pricing of the dual laser engraver is $3,888, which includes a free license of Lightburn software valued at $239. I have some good news. EM Smart has given me an additional $100 off coupon code for the dual laser engraver to pass along to you. So if you click my affiliate link in the description below, then type in RIST, you will receive an additional $100 discount. The optional rotary accessory current pricing is $399 and the flexible fixture current pricing is $229. So now let's talk about our final summary. I've had a great experience with the EM Smart Dual Laser Engraver. By having a 20-watt fiber laser engraver and a 20-watt diode laser at my fingertips, it allows me to engrave in over 300 materials. I was blown away at the speed and precision of the fiber laser engraving in a variety of metals, as well as slate. By also having the diode laser that does a great job in engraving cork, wood, and black acrylic and other materials is a big plus. The full safety enclosure makes it easy to safely operate the laser. And another major benefit is that it's compatible with Lightburn software. In fact, a free license of Lightburn is included. The dual laser engraver has one of the largest work areas of 230 millimeters by 230 millimeters for dual laser desktop laser engravers on the market. The built-in camera is a great tool to maximize your workpiece and for batch processing. At a cost of $3,888, it's not cheap, but it does have a lot of versatility by having both a 20-watt fiber and a 20-watt diode laser. I think this is a valuable tool that most people could benefit from having it in their workshop or small business. What do you think? Do you see yourself using the EM Smart Dual Laser Engraver in your shop? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see my video on the capabilities of the EM Smart rotary attachment, including engraving tumblers, glassware, and rings, when that video is available, the link will be here. Thanks for watching. Bye!